With just minutes to go, of course, for Budget 2025, all the eyes really on Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's 8th budget in a row and her speech there. We are joined by a very special panel for their key expectations just ahead of the budget. I'm joined by Vinayak Chatterjee. He is, of course, someone who's looking at, as Chairman CII of course, the Infrastructure Division very closely. Nasir Salim, a veteran market expert. Sanjeev Puri, President CII, and Rajiv Memani, President-designate CII. Thank you all so much for your time. We'll quickly really ask you your key ask before the budget. So Sanjeev Puri, your first key suggestion just minutes away from the budget.
Well, we're looking forward to continuous thrust on inclusive and sustainable development, which means enhanced public capex, enhanced focus on sectors with high employment intensity, enhanced focus on agriculture, and we're also looking at some relief for the middle class, given that consumption is little soft. And the third is also a lot more focus on the climate change, particularly on the area of adaptation, and also some very strong policy announcements or incentives for the states to address this issue of ease and cost of doing business, and how some of these areas like labor regulations, etc., can be made flexible to provide impetus to the economy, really looking at the next generation reforms.
Next generation reforms. Rajiv Memani, do you agree this really is the budget for Viksit Bharat 2047, like the Prime Minister said yesterday? Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I think it should be. If this budget hopefully has a very strong, like they have had in the past, pro-growth stance. I mean, I would say that will be very, very important, so that the full potential of India can be unshackled. And in terms of specifically, I think Sanjeev has covered it very comprehensively. But I would say, the disinvestment number, I know they will not be very, may not be very aggressive on that optically, but I think that number is important to fund a lot of the asks that people have. And I think specifically tax reliefs to lower income and middle income people in terms of personal tax rates. I think those are the two things that are very important. I'll keep quiet on capex, but I know Vinayak will be covering that.
Right, Vinayak Chatterjee, your first thoughts on capital expenditure then, and of course the outlook for infrastructure sector then.
Actually, it's a very simple question. For the last many years, infrastructure outlays have been used to pump prime the economy. And that is clearly needed at this juncture. Historically, we have seen year after year 30% growth in outlays, 5 lakh to 7.5, 7.5 to 10. Last year, unfortunately, was only a 10% growth, but I am expecting, looking at current conditions, for the Finance Minister to take a call anywhere in the range of 17% to 25% increase, which would result in an infrastructure outlay of either 13 or 14 lakh crores or somewhere in between, and that is the big ticket item that I would be looking for.
All right, Nasir Salim, of course, we've discussed the policy reforms as well as the macro outlook, but markets are jumping and cheering just ahead of Budget 2025. What are really markets expecting? Many saying that, look, this time, markets also will not be disappointed if the middle class or the salaried class gets a tax relief.
Thank you, Sakshi. Yes, actually, the capital markets always react before the budget, but that's nothing new. It's always been the case. I think the basics always continues to play out. Two key things. I think the market participants today are expecting some benefit to be given in terms of boosting consumption. I think that has been well said, and the markets have kind of factored in. One is that. The second, I think, quick reforms is on, lower wage income has not gone up, and we're seeing some changes there. I think corporate profitability is all-time high, FY24, if you look at the number, but real wages are low. I think, again, certain incentives there to boost personal disposable income for higher consumption is something which has, again, been expected. It has been factored in. I think anything beyond that will be, if not addressed in this specific budget announcement now, will have an impact negatively. But hopefully that should play out really well. And the expectations have been set, and the narrative has been set for those.
All right, the narrative has been set. Markets clearly cheering just minutes ahead of Budget 2025. Thank you all for sharing your key expectations and key suggestions with the Finance Minister.